So that's it. WrestleMania 40 is in the books. Hi everyone, this is Jay Mysterio. I really want to thank the people that watched the previous video. I got a lot of feedback about the video, my opinions, and the way I made the video. So rest assured, all the people that contacted me on YouTube and Instagram, I'm going to work on this. I'm really going to work on this and make it better. Today, I'm here to talk about night two of WrestleMania 40. I saw it. In my opinion, WrestleMania 40 was definitely one of the best WrestleManias of all times, if not the best ever. It evoked so much emotion. Like I think the last time I felt like this was WrestleMania 30 when Daniel Bryan won the championship. That was an emotional moment as well. And then probably after that, Kofi Mania. But WrestleMania 40 was just on another level. Like Roman Reigns says, there are levels to this thing. This was definitely levels above anything else that I've seen so far in terms of WrestleMania. To start off, Stephanie McMahon coming out on night two. That was awesome. It was a great moment. She invited us to WrestleMania night two, and the fact that she's a female and she came out and she was the one presenting the night two to all the fans, that was awesome. Really good moment. Really enjoyed it. The first match of night two was Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Great match. These two, I think, are two of the best wrestlers in the world right now. Back and forth, so fast, really good. Like they started with their finishers. They really had a plan going into the match that they were not going to slow down. It was just so quick and it was so awesome. Really enjoyed it. I was happy when Drew won, but the twist was still there. Damian Priest cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase, and it was because of CM Punk. The thing about the Triple H era or the new era, or I like to call it the People's era, is that storytelling is a big deal. There is long term storytelling. Drew spent the last 2, 3 months talking about how Seth Rollins is distracted, but at the same time, he was distracted because of CM Punk. And today, even though he won the belt, he still kept poking CM Punk, and that resulted into the Money in the Bank cash in. And Damian Priest is your new World Heavyweight Champion. Really happy for Damian Priest. I think he deserves it. He's a big guy, but he's a great wrestler. And well, let's see what happens with Drew McIntyre. I'm sure, in my opinion, I think CM Punk has been cleared for Backlash already, or he will be cleared in time of Backlash. That's why I think they're setting up the match for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I don't think they're going to drag it all the way to SummerSlam. I really think the match is going to be at Backlash. But we'll see what happens. But really great match, a great opener for night two. Night one was Rhea versus Becky, explosive opener, and this was the same. Really enjoyed it. The next match was the street fight between the Final Testament, if I'm saying it right, and Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Again, the storyline has not been anything to rave about, but the match was good. They added Bubba Ray Dudley, and we were in Philly, so that helped. It was a great addition. I enjoyed it. It was short, it was to the point. There was some tables involved. I think for it was really, I think, meant to be for the Philly crowd, and it was good. It was good for what it was. Next up, it was AJ Styles versus LA Knight. I was really happy that LA Knight won the match. I think it was really cool of AJ Styles to put him over at WrestleMania. He got the rub from AJ Styles. That's really good to see. Really enjoyed the match, back and forth. I think, again, this is a case of two great wrestlers coming together. LA Knight, the more I see him, the more his matches I watch, the more I like him. AJ Styles is AJ Styles. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. There's no denying that. I still think that AJ Styles can have a championship run, maybe two championship runs still in the WWE. He's that damn good. And LA Knight, I think this year for sure, he will end up with a singles championship. He should. I'm guessing before SummerSlam, he'll be a singles champion. That's what I would like to see. It was a great match, back and forth, solid. Really enjoyed it. Next up, it was Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship. I was a bit surprised with this one. I didn't think that Logan Paul will retain. I thought that was the whole point of the triple threat match, that he will not get pinned and then he will come back and again complain about it. But I was surprised that he retained. WWE is really looking at a long term plan for Logan Paul, it seems like. But I'm not complaining. He is an amazing wrestler. I don't know how he's so good, but he is that damn good. I think he can hold on to the title for longer. It was a great match. Of course, the spot of the match was the pop-up powerbomb turned into the RKO. My God, I can't believe Randy Orton keeps coming up with these still. I'm sure it goes both ways. Kevin Owens was as involved in that move, but that was the spot of the match for sure. Pop-up powerbomb to RKO, incredible, simply amazing. And after that, of course, Logan Paul took advantage and he retained. I was a bit surprised about that, but it was a really good match, solid match. I was a bit surprised about the fact that Kevin Owens kicked out of an RKO and it was just so casual. I didn't expect that at all. I don't know if that was planned or unplanned, something went wrong there because I don't recall anybody kicking out of the RKO, at least recently. And that was surprising to me. Apart from that, the match was awesome. Next up, we had Io Sky versus Bailey for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. Solid match. Really enjoyed it. The one thing I want to say about this match is I've been watching wrestling for ages now. And when we were growing up watching wrestling, people were not into women's matches. They were just fillers that were put on a show, and the crowd who used to be dead, they were not into it, and that's how we grew up watching women's wrestling. To come from that point to this point where they were so invested in this match, they were behind Bailey the whole way through, and when Bailey won, you could see in the background the crowd erupting. That was so satisfying. They've come a long way. I think women's wrestling is on the up and up right now. It was an amazing match. Both of them are amazing wrestlers. It started a bit slow. Like in the beginning, it was a bit slow. I didn't get it, but after like 5 minutes into the thing, it got really interesting, and it was a great match overall. I'm glad that Bailey won. They mentioned that in the press conference as well, that out of the four horsewomen, she is really the one who's still successful. And there was a time when they thought that she would be the weakest one. I mean, I heard that a lot before, but with Becky losing and Charlotte not being there and Sasha Banks not being there, of course, Bailey is the one that is leading the charge in terms of the four horsewomen, and I think she's doing an amazing job. She deserves all her flowers. She is a great wrestler, and I'm sure she'll be a great champion. Io Sky, amazing. Visit of the Sky, really enjoyed the match. And then there was the main event. Wow, just wow. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Championship. That was just so overwhelming. Like I was speechless when the match was over. To begin with, I will have to give a shout out to Samantha Irving. The way she performed, I would say performed because that was a performance of a lifetime. The way she did her announcements on both nights of WrestleMania, that was incredible. Like she's doing an amazing job. I think she's really made it cool to be a WWE announcer again. I think she's the best announcer since Lillian Garcia. She's doing a great job. Kudos to her. Really enjoyed it. And the match was so long. I wasn't expecting it to be so long, but I never got bored. It never got slow. It was just the perfect pace. These are two of the best technical wrestlers in the world. Roman Reigns wearing his shirt for a reason. He is just on another level. Roman is definitely on the Mount Rushmore of wrestling. He's definitely in the conversation of greatest of all times for sure. He is definitely the GOAT. I mean, again, that's up for discussion. I can make an argument for Shawn Michaels, John Cena, and a few others that I like. But the way it stands right now, at least in this generation, he's definitely the greatest of all times. Cody, Triple H said it best in the press conference later that one of the most difficult things to do in the wrestling business nowadays is to build a baby face that people like. They tried to do that with Roman Reigns for 5 years. It didn't work, and then he changed his character, and it worked. They tried it with John Cena. It worked initially for the initial years, but then you could hear the chants, "Let's go Cena! Cena sucks." So it's very difficult for the WWE universe to accept a babyface. And with Cody, it's just so easy. And Triple H said it the best. I think Cody Rhodes is an organic babyface. When the match was over, you could see it. He was meeting up with the cameraman. He was meeting up with Michael Cole. He called Bruce Pritchard outside to the ring. Like he seems like a genuine guy. I've seen videos of him interacting with the fans off camera, and he really cares about the fans. He really cares about the business. And I think that comes across as something very genuine that people notice. And that's why he is the best baby face that they have right now. And it's so organic. When when the lines are blurred between the storylines and reality, that's when you get the best television. And it is pure cinema at this point. It was a great match. I had such a great time. I had so many notes. I hope I don't miss anything. That match was just beautiful. I would call it beautiful. The fact that The Undertaker came back, I think that was so poetic as well, because The Rock's character all this time has been that he's the final boss. Well, the final boss just got beaten up by the dead man. You can't get more brutal, or you can't get levels above than a dead person, I guess. The dead man walking, that's The Undertaker. And I was expecting Stone Cold Steve Austin, I was expecting The Rock's daughter Ava. That didn't happen. But seeing the Undertaker, even though he just hit a choke slam, the look on his face, the aggression on his face, he still got it, man. That choke slam was just incredible. And the way The Rock reacted when he saw the Undertaker for the first time, oh, classic, like classic. That was pure cinema. And John Cena coming back as well, that was awesome. Really, the match overall was really not a match, it was an experience. It was a beautiful experience for wrestling fans of the modern wrestling fans and fans like us that watch wrestling in the Attitude Era. It was just incredible. John Cena and The Rock in the ring together after what, 11 years at WrestleMania? The Undertaker and The Rock together in the ring after 25 years. If that's not long term storytelling, what is? It was such a great night. It was such a great match. Just perfect way to end WrestleMania 40, in my opinion. Just a few notes about the press conference. I really enjoyed it as well. Damian Priest, he came across very genuine, but he mentioned that 10 years ago he was homeless and now he's the world heavyweight champion. I really appreciated the fact that he mentioned that, because all the people that are struggling out there can get inspired from his story. Really calm, really confident. I think he's going to be a great champion. Bailey, again, very confident. Really enjoyed her press conference part as well. Triple H, as I mentioned, appreciated Cody, and what he said, in my opinion, was absolutely true. I've seen it for the past 15, 20 years that making a baby face in this business is one of the most difficult things to do. And Cody is that babyface because he's real, he's genuine. That's why that makes it easier. So overall, I think WrestleMania 40 was definitely one of the greatest WrestleManias of all times. It was worth the wait. It was worth the build up. It was worth the whole storyline, the bloodline storyline. I think topped off at this WrestleMania. Roman Reigns is going to be back. He's one of the greatest of all times. This is now Cody's time. This is Cody's era, and I think he's going to be a workhorse champion. He's going to be a great champion. I want to end the video by saying something that Michael Cole said when Cody Rhodes hugged his mother and presented her the title. He said, I love professional wrestling. And that's me as well. When I watched the WrestleMania, when I watched that match, that's what I felt. That I love being a wrestling fan. I love professional wrestling. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be back soon with the Raw review and just share some highlights for you with the Raw show. The Raw after WrestleMania, it's always special. So let's see how that went. Thank you. See you guys.